That's the moment I want to talk about today. At the beginning of the month, when you're looking at your numbers, when you're looking at your client load and you're wondering, how am I going to hit what I want to hit when I don't actually know exactly where my clients are coming from? And I just want you to know you're not alone. I see this among the best service providers, coaches. You're so good at what you do. You're so busy doing what you do. And you have a structural problem. You don't actually have a predictable way that clients come into your business every single month. And it's not because you're not incredible. It's probably because you just don't know and you've never had a system that actually works for you. And I get it. And I was exactly there. I, 5 years ago, was hitting about 175K in my business, full load of one-on-one clients, and the literal no predictability of when they came in. And it always left me with this fear within my body and anxiety of wondering, ooh, I have a lot of clients, I'm doing good, but it kind of made me always want to keep my clients, or worse, just stress out about what I should be doing in my business, but always feeling like my time was really competing with one another and never feeling like I was ever fully in charge of my business. It created this experience of feeling that I don't really have a business I can rely on to provide for my future. And it was in that moment when I really made a decision. I'm not running my business this way. I want to be in full dominion over my business 100% of the time. And that means that I can bring in clients and revenue on demand. And this is something that I see that so many incredible people just never set up soon enough, and honestly causes way more stress than you need to. And that is why I'm going to be breaking down exactly what to do so that you can have predictability. Because I just want you to know, having predictability where you can generate the amount of revenue that you want with the amount of clients that you want on the exact months that you want. So you want your July off and you actually don't want to onboard clients? Great. You can design it that way. You want December off with your family and you don't want to actually have any sales come in, or you want to set them up to come in January, you can design it that way. But if you are at the whim of clients maybe staying, a referral maybe coming in, someone maybe seeing your social media, maybe converting from that talk, you don't have a business system. You have something random, and you will always be living with that inkling of fear within your body of going, is this gonna really last? Can I really rely on this? And that is exactly where we change things. And the first thing that you wanna do is recognize that the first place is you're actually setting up a structure where clients come in for a certain period and they leave, and so does the relationship. So you worked so hard to get these clients in, to work with them, and they're leaving. And what you really want to shift into is a retention-based business model. What this is retaining clients because they're getting such a good value. And it is actually positioning your business as the home for their transformation. It doesn't matter what niche you are in, okay? It does not matter. Throw it at me. Literally, DM me your niche and I'll tell you how to apply this. Every niche has the ability to have the home base for someone's transformation. Because let's be honest, who is changing their life in 3 months? Sure, transformation, yes. Big evolutions, yes. But actual lasting change that's gonna last for decades takes time. And this is the biggest issue that I see, is that people position their programs or offers as 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. And then you are actually setting up the client to expect to be done, which is then pushing you to actually need to generate getting new clients all the time. And this is really when I shifted my business model into a retention-based business model, everything changed. And I will tell you, I kind of fell into it, to be completely honest, because I watched my mom create a business for over 55 years, which she still does. And her average client stays for 10 years or more. Why? Because they see her business as the home base. And so I learned from her, because I worked in her business, learning how to create a community and programs like this for real transformation, and applied it to my own. And it is what has allowed me to have a 98% client retention rate in my main program, Wealthy Woman, because I stopped positioning the program as a get to this result. And instead, Wealthy Woman is the home to women's business, right? I have clients who have been in there from 3 years, where at first we were working on this goal of getting an X amount of clients. Now we're working on scaling up and looking at how do they set up team. Because when you become people's home for their transformation, they don't need to leave. And it's all in your marketing, and you actually want to position your offer differently to be the home for their transformation versus a quick fix. So when a client comes in, they're not expecting to be done. The second thing we really want to focus on is how you're designing your offers and really making sure you're designing your offers for client retention and success in your actual program and their next evolution. So that is the first thing you want to do, is change the way you're positioning your offer so that clients want to stay. Secondly is, I can tell you right now, you probably have a marketing structural issue, which is why you can't have clients come in on demand when you want. I always say this notion of, we want to be able to pull a lever that when I pull it exactly, I can generate the amount of income and leads and clients that I want. And that requires actually having a marketing system for your specific business. And I will tell you, it's not just reliant on launches. I really had this moment when I was 9 months pregnant and I had just hit my third 100K launch in a row. And I will tell you, the way even I teach launching is different. I teach how to pre-enroll people so you guarantee your goals, because who wants to do a launch and fail? I've never had a failed launch. I honestly don't relate to it, because I think that you should have a sustainable launch model that actually gets you clients in on demand. Now, beyond it, you need to actually have not just relying on launches for your business. Why? Who wants to operate under the stress and pressure of putting all of your income basket in 1, 2, 3 events for the whole year? No, thank you. Again, those are nice bonuses. I teach you exactly how to do this inside of my main program, as I call them gas to the fire, but they're not our main source of income. Why? Because it puts a lot of pressure on those events, and the market changes, and you might change. You might not want to do your launch event, but I never want you to feel like you have to do anything in your business. So what you really want to create is get out of needing launches and instead set up a marketing system that actually works for your life and your business. Really, how launches have become the norm is because you think about launches as needing almost like a private dinner party where you go to it exclusive and it's fun, right? But then you always expect, okay, all of this stuff is going to go into this private dinner party. But the shift you actually want to make is, my marketing system is always working. Every single day. It's always bringing me leads in every single day. It's bringing me clients in when I want every single day. It's just like eating and drinking water. We need to eat every day and drink water every day. That is how your marketing system should be. And we set it up very specifically based off of where you are in your business and what actually makes sense. So one of the ways that I actually recommend doing this is having a marketing system where someone could find you on the internet or in person, and they move through your marketing funnel to actually come into your world. Whether that's your social media to a YouTube, whether that's your email list to a live event, it doesn't matter, but you need a system. And it's so important that you have a full-blown marketing system that runs on repeat and has a way that people are seeing you, attracted to you, see you, get value from you, and then end up converting in your world. This is what really changed it for me, where I can literally look at my numbers and I can look at my data and go, okay, if I do X amount of those activities, I can bring in X amount of those clients. That is how a business should be run. And that's why you want to move away from this random thing and this random freebie and free event and actually build out a real marketing system. There are details that go into the marketing system. This is something I can help you more in a further of really looking at how you would build it out. But essentially, in a very simple form, what you want is you want a way that people find you consistently, where you're speaking to their level of awareness. You want a way where they actually get real value from you. And then you want a way where they get to connect with you, and then they come into your world and they're reinforced through your sales process why you are the one for them. What this does also is it actually creates people being already sold before they ever get on a sales call or anything, because your marketing did most of the work for you. This was the biggest shift for me, was really going from, I'm randomly throwing up a launch. I'm randomly posting on social media because I did it. And let me tell you, I was still hitting 400K and doing it. But the level that I was working and the amount of hours I was having to do was insane. And now my weeks look like sometimes a few calls on my calendar, if that, with very clear activities of what I'm doing to, again, feed my own system, because I am in dominion of my life and my time, and that comes with my system. The third thing you really want to focus on in your business to have predictability, and I was slightly mentioning this, is really to know your own data and your own numbers and what makes sense for you based off of where you are. So one of the biggest things, I am all for being the most connected human ever. If you didn't know my background, I literally was raised by 2 coaches. The amount of work that I do even now, I teach workshops with my mom and my brother, and it's all about coming into your truth and coming into your knowing and feeling and knowing that in your body. That is so important. But there's a difference between intuitive knowing and data. And listen, for business, you need both. But decision making comes from data first and then intuitive knowing to then inform what we're going to do with the data. And if you don't know your data, we can't do that process. And knowing your own data is so important. I highly recommend looking at your numbers. If you look at your last 10 clients, where did they come from? What process did they go through? I literally told my wealthy woman clients this week to do this exact process. What they did is they pulled apart, and there's actually a very specific system that I teach within this, of you look at your clients, your last 10 clients, what were all the touch points they needed to get to this point. That's actually going to inform us for how to build out your marketing system, by the way. And then look at where did they come from. And your marketing system is literally being created by using that data. And then what we do is we pull what your conversion rates are, and then we get to decide how many inputs are needed at different points. So for instance, one of my clients is amazing, and she actually loves live events. She posts on Instagram, she posts on TikTok, she loves it, she kills it, and she loves live events. We know exactly her percentage of how many people come from just her Instagram to her live events, how many people come from her TikTok to her live events, and we know her conversion rate from her live events. So she has 2 strategies working at the same time. One is her live events, the others is her social media to her DMs. She converts from both. And because we know the percentage of both, we get to decide and make strategic decisions around when timing she wants to do live events, how many, depending on what season. She was just on vacation. And so we planned a live event months later. Why? Why bother? And again, if you're just reliant on launches, you don't have the freedom to even make these decisions. You don't. And ultimately, we want ultimate freedom for you and your business, right? So this is why knowing your own numbers is so important. And when you know your numbers, then we can use your intuitive information to actually inform you. And this client alone, by the way, hit 20K in 10 days this month because we started tracking her data. We started dialing in her systems and her marketing system, sales system that funneled her through. This is so important. I can't even begin to tell you, because you're spending so much time in business trying to look at what everybody else is doing. But what you don't realize, if you don't have a system for retention, your own marketing system, and data to inform that marketing system, and then that intuitive knowing, then we are doing business random. And really, this is when everything changed for me and for my family. My finances have drastically improved and changed hugely. And when I say improved, I don't just mean income-wise. My income has gone up significantly. But the thing that I actually care about most is that it's so predictable. Last year around this time, I was hitting anywhere between like a 30K month, hoping a client would come in, hoping people would come in. And I had different ways that people came in, but I actually almost had too many ways. And then what I really did is I shifted my business to really have income and clients come in from 2 main sources and focus on retention. My retention went from 67 to 98%, 100% in my mastermind. That is insane. And What really shifted more than anything is that right now, in this moment, I have income already set out for a year in my business. So I could do nothing for the next 6 months, and I have plenty of income coming into the business, and I already have income coming out for a whole year, so that I can plan very specifically when I want more clients or income coming in. This is how your business should be. And the biggest thing I want to mention is because I have those sales systems, because I have those marketing systems, I am working way less and have way less time working in my week, which means way more freedom to tend to my family and my life, which if you didn't know, at the end of the day, this whole business is to actually give you the freedom you want in your life. And by actually having your focus diverted, not really knowing where to put your attention to get clients in, kind of living with a level of anxiety that you've just gotten used to, is not normal. And we need to change that, because the best thing you could do for your life and your business is come from a state of regulation and presence. And that also comes from actually having security of knowing what's coming into the business, and that you can bring in the amount of clients on demand when you actually want. That is what we do, because my ultimate passion and purpose is that you can make any amount of money you want, whether that's $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 a month, you can do. And it's built on a model that retains client. It's built on a model where your genius comes through, and more than anything, that you actually get to relax and enjoy your life. So if any of this resonated with you just a little bit, I'm inviting for you that if you want to jump on a call with me, I will hear about your business. I will hear what's going on. I will literally tell you what I recommend for you, because my passion is that more women get in charge of their business and actually get to enjoy their lives, which is why you created it. So you can go ahead and book a call with me below, and just know, even apply the things that I said in this video. Your business will change when we apply and actually create the structures and systems that are actually needed.